What's up, guys? Well, I'm here to show you a debut item from the Hidden Woodsmen today. He calls it his Bushcraft Classic Ruck, and I have to say it's pretty cool. So let's get set up and I can show you what this baby's all about. Alright guys, well like I said, this is a debut item from the Hidden Woodsman, or Malcolm Coder as we know him. This pack has been a long time coming from him. Long story short, I hit him up with some specifications of a pack I'd like him to make me, and he said, you know what, this is perfect timing. I've been looking at making a pack somewhat similar to that for a long time, and I think it'll fit the bill for you. And so he went ahead and did it. I want to go ahead and share something with you that I liked off the bat with this thing. After I got it about 6 weeks ago, I took a short day hike with my family. As some of you guys may know, we are a large family, and so I had to pack it down pretty hard even for a day hike. And if you notice, these straps are around the outsides of my shoulders. Well, I have a pretty wide shoulder base or whatnot, and a lot of modern packs like to hug around the inside to keep to the center of gravity, which is just too narrow for me. And Malcolm really hit the nail on the head as far as balancing the weight with these. Another thing that I really like about this pack, it doesn't have a waist belt, which, you know, a lot of folks would think right off the bat, hey, you know, it needs a waist belt to distribute the weight. Well, this pack isn't designed for huge loads, and because it doesn't have a waist belt and because it rides high in the back, it doesn't inhibit me from drawing a pistol or a knife, whatever you choose to carry, which I really like. Anyway, well, that's out of the way. Let's go and take the pack off and I'll give you a specs rundown. Alright guys, rough specs, then we'll get down to the nitty gritty of it. This is roughly a 30-liter pack is what Malcolm is advertising it at, and I'm sure that when this gets posted on his website in the next week or two, when it actually becomes available, he'll have a lot more specific specifications on it. But just for the purposes of this video, let's go ahead. Width of the main chamber is looking at right about 10.5 or 11 inches. Depth is going to be about 16 inches. However, you have lots of play in the straps to go ahead and stretch these out so you can stuff more stuff underneath this main flap here. You could easily fit a light weather sleeping bag or tarp or something like that up under this main flap. There's plenty of expansion in this pack. Now, these side pockets, which for my uses are for water bottles, which I really dig, I'll get into that here more in a minute, are 12 inches long by, looks like, about 4.5 inches wide. Obviously you can see there's an axe sleeve right here, and this fits all of my axes, even going up into my big double bit axe, so it fits great. As you can see, the seam lines are double sewn and in some places triple sewn. They're very strong, and it is heavy duty canvas thread. Alright guys, you do have a chest strap here if you choose to use one. Typically I don't, but under heavier loads I could see myself using it. One thing I want to point out really quick is all the nylon strapping, all the buckles and clips, they are mil spec, so you don't have to worry about those letting you down. One thing I really like about this, all the excess nylon straps, he has put or embedded these Velcro retainers so you can fold it up and don't have a bunch of excess strapping just flapping around. Another thing I really like about this pack is the backing has a somewhat hard foam to it, so you know, if you have something pokey or something with a lot of corners to it in your pack, it's not going to dig into your back. It is very comfortable, it is form-fitting, and again, the seams are straight, strong, and in the places where they need to be, they are double or triple stitched. And the shoulder straps also have the same hard foam padding in them as well. Okay, so this is 30 liters, and the rough estimates I've already given as far as the measurements. How does that translate into gear? First off, I will say that this is a light loadout. I could get a lot more creative and pack this thing further. However, this would be a little bit heavier than my average loadout. One thing I really like about these side pockets, I always go water heavy because I always, or at least usually, have a bunch of kids in tow. This means I can carry a half gallon on each side of my pack of water. In Western North Carolina, it gets hot and humid in the summer, and water is something that we always need to go heavy with. Now, another thing, guys, there is extra room in these. Not only will it fit a half a gallon of water, I can also keep a spare blade in there. On the other side, I keep my water filtration kit, which is a mini Sawyer, and some water purification tabs, just in an oilskin bag. Alright guys, now that we're down to the inside of the pack, there's a couple things I want to highlight here. As you can see, the insides of these flaps and the walls going all the way down of this pack are double lined. It has high visibility yellow on the inside and then whatever color you choose on the outside, which I really like that because that means you can keep the outside of your pack in earth tones or camo or whatever you choose it to be, you know, so it can blend into your environment so it's not so obvious. However, if you get into an emergency situation, you can still use the pack itself as a way to become visible. You know, the outside Codura is 1,000, the inside is 500, which is plenty. Like I said, it's double lined. Anyway, let's get into what you can hold in this pack. And again, this is a relatively light load. Alright guys, just to kind of show it off, this is my first aid kit. This is my tinder bag. This is my tarp and some paracord to use as a ridge line and just to tie it down with. Here's my food bag. I've got my bush pot, my stove, and about a day and a half worth of food in there. My hammock. And in here I have my slap straps for my hammock. But also guys, this bag comes with this pack. Each of these packs comes with a set of straps to where you can strap a bedroll or something on the bottom, or if you so choose, there are D-rings on top that you could use these straps to attach something to your pack as well. So there is lots of room for expansion. Alright guys, I've mentioned it a few times. Just go ahead and show you. There are D-rings on the top. There's strapping or webbing on the bottom to where you can add those straps that come with this pack. And if you have other straps or get extra ones from Malcolm, you can have one on both sides. Now, I've mentioned several times that there is lots of room for expansion in this pack. There is, really. Look how loose this top flap is. And I haven't even used all of the available nylon strapping. So, like I said before, you could easily fit a light weather sleeping bag, a tarp, you know, something under there, or cinch it down and really compress your load. Now that's not the only part that has expansion. These side pockets where I'm using for my water bottles, they are very deep. What I want to point out is that there is a lot of expansion available on this strap. So if you need to carry a lot of weight, you could get really creative and even overload this pocket itself. It does have a carry handle, should you choose to use that. And again, it does have a sternum strap. Alright guys, one thing on the inside of this pack I want to point out or kind of highlight a little bit. Malcolm has incorporated a saw sleeve or a pocket on the inside. As you can see, it has a pretty cool Hidden Woodsmen patch sewn into the seam here, which I think is a nice touch. Here is a Silky Super Excel 220. I have tried this pocket with every saw that I own, which is this Silky, a Baco Laplander, and a Corona saw, and this pocket will work with each of them, so whatever saw you use will likely work. I want to take a second to highlight this stitching. I'm just choosing to use this seam because it's readily available to me right now, but you know, as you can see, it curves with the cut of the pack, but besides that, it is straight. It is double, triple, and quadruple stitched in places depending on, you know, the strength that Malcolm wants to put into that particular seam. I am really impressed. Another thing is on the inside of this pack there is this D-ring sewn in. which I think is pretty cool, because with this you could, you know, clip a battery pack or GPS, cell phone, you know, something small that would otherwise in the movement of walking may fall down into the crevices of what you have packed, but this will keep it clipped up near the top. Alright guys, well, time for some final thoughts. What do I think of this pack? What are the good things? Well, I think it's well built. I love the fact that it's water resistant or waterproof. That all depends on what fabric you choose, Malcolm, to use. I love how much you can expand this pack. You know, you can keep it into a small package, or you can turn it into a medium-ish large package. I love that. I love the fact that he has straps on the bottom where you can add a bedroll or whatever, and I love the fact that the top, you can expand the top flap to stuff a sleeping bag or a tent or, you know, a tarp, and yet you still have D-rings on top of the flap to expand it even more. This to me is a small, medium, and large package. I love the fact that it is not a typical backpack, and that it is not a tube where you have to shove each individual item down inside it, and then if you want to get something out, you have to take everything out until you find what you're looking after. This, it's wide enough that you can fish down in there for what you're looking for and not have to take too much out. I love the pocket for the saw on the inside. Typically I wear a saw on my belt, and so, you know, if I don't want to wear it on my belt, I can transition it into the pack itself. If I want to carry two saws, just have one as a backup. There's an easy place to put it where it's not going to get lost with the rest of my gear. And two more things. I am really particularly fond of the axe sleeve. It makes carrying an axe so much easier. It is nice just to be able to slip it down in there and then forget about it. But my favorite thing about this pack, bar none, is the fact this is the first pack I've used that easily accommodates half-gallon water bottles and then some. I love that. I go water heavy because I have a large family and usually have kids in tow. So, do I have any negatives? I honestly don't have any negatives. I do have some constructive criticism. The only thing I would suggest, let me get the pack. The only thing I would suggest is you have two D-rings right here, and on the bottom you have the center strap, is to have two D-rings right here and two D-rings in the back, and on the same on the bottom. Double the strap up a little bit. That way there's four corners to your strapping system, so whatever you're strapping to this isn't flopping back and forth. But again, like I said, that's not really a criticism, that's just a suggestion. That's not anything that I'm going to be walking down the trail and go, you know, I really wish I had two extra D-rings. Alright guys, well, thanks for joining me. Again, that is the Classic Bushcraft Ruck from the Hidden Woodsmen, or Malcolm Coderre. You can find out more about this pack soon. I don't know if it's posted yet, but it will be posted sometime within the next couple weeks on the hiddenwoodsman.com or the Hidden Woodsman Facebook page. Both of those links will be in the description. But again, like I said, thank you very much for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to keep track of what the channel's doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. I've got a lot of stuff coming, a few more reviews in the near future. Excuse me, swatting mosquitoes here. Also got some stuff coming from Blade Show 2015, which is going to be kind of cool and outside the box from what I'm used to doing. And just my regular old playing with fire stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me again, and I will see you next time.